Hello, it's midnight here in the UK. As usual, I'm not sleeping. I thought I'll get up and do a video. It's going to be an unusual video, especially coming from a little old lady, and I called it Sexual Energy. This is not about sex, it's about the energy. It's a very interesting subject, and I think a lot of people don't really know what it's all about, except, the obvious. But at the moment, what's happening is that we're receiving an awful lot, a great deal of intense light and cosmic energy. SCMEs, solar flares, energy, this, that. And what the intention of the energy is to stimulate the consciousness, your higher consciousness, to stimulate the energy. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on where you are and who you are and where you're at, it's also stimulating the sexual energy. The crown chakra, the consciousness, is linked to the base chakra at the very bottom, which is the sexual energy, the kundalini. So one is triggering off the other, and I know it's affecting me quite profoundly. It's not if you've got a sexual partner, but if you haven't, you're struggling a bit. Apart from the obvious. So this energy is pouring in. I just thought I'd do this video because I think there are quite a lot of people, I guess, that would wonder what's happening, why this sudden surge, And of course it doesn't make any difference how old you are. I mean, I'm an old lady, but I'm still not beyond having sexual experiences, fortunately. It's just finding someone to do them with. So I'm being a bit facetious, really, but it's a powerful energy. And I'm coming from a place, really, not many would understand this, is the high priestess of Melchizedek, where in the Egyptian times, Atlantean times even, we used the sex or energy to raise consciousness. It was used in a kind of ritual, really, a ritual where you actually did all your stuff, and even clapping of the hands apparently can raise up the energies, and it was used to bring about higher forces and higher understandings and so forth. It does raise consciousness. So if you can find someone to have sex with who's got more consciousness than yourself, go for it. I mean, the spiritual masters are quite willing, I understand it. No, I'm just being a bit silly, really, but be careful who you have it with. This is the trouble. I want to say this as well, because, I mean, the Pleiadians have written a very good book. Not only bringers of the earth, bringers of the dawn. That's right. One called Earth, which is all about sexuality. It's well worth reading, actually. It is, because this is where we're heading. This is actually the means to releasing a lot of very repressed emotional stuff. The sexual energy is very, very important. There's a lot of fear about it, unfortunately, especially in the Christian religion and the Catholic religion, as we all know. This is not, I'm just saying, this is a fact that over the years, women were considered to be witches and whatever, and were put to death because of the highly sexual energy that they carried, and men fancied them, and they felt guilty because they fancied them, so let's put them to death. This is basically what it's all about. A woman can't, I don't know if even now it's possible, a woman cannot give communion in the Church of England if she's got a period, and they weren't allowed to be priestesses or vicars or whatever they're called nowadays because of that menstruation. It's only recently been actually, they are allowed to study the priesthood. So this is a very interesting subject, but it's a subject that really many people aren't aware of, especially nowadays. It depends who you have sex with. I mean, this is not a judgment. It doesn't matter who you have sex with, and yet it does, because if whoever you have sex with, you're going to pick up their energy, and there's some very dark forces out there at the moment. It's not about love, really. It's about being with the person who values you and appreciates you, and you're not going to pick up all their crap, because when you're involved with somebody that you're taking on their energy, and I've noticed this, and it's a fact that I think did I mention this in my last video? Barry Long, the teacher, he's a spiritual master, and he does teach a lot about sexuality, and he says, that a man has sex with a woman, he's free, he can run off, he can sow his wild oats, he's totally free. When a woman has sex with a man, she produces this hormone that commits her to him emotionally. So she really doesn't stand a chance of getting over her emotional feelings as quickly as a man does. And the man can have several. They do. I mean, they do. I don't want to go on about that, but the sexual energy is very valuable, and it's very important to take care of it. Really, it is take care of it, because somebody could take your energy from you. They could leave you with their stuff, and all this goes into it, you know. So it's well to be really careful who you're having sex with, and for the reasons. I'm not sure it's going to be a very long video. I haven't been to bed actually. I've just suddenly thought I must do a video about this, because I'm aware that this energy is pouring in at the moment. It can be causing people, because they wonder what's happening. I could go into a lot deeper, but I won't. I just wanted to say this because I'm trying to sort of warn people off of getting so desperate that you could misuse it. It's a very powerful energy. And if you really want to understand not only this book, Pleiadians, the Earths, but there is a very good discipline. I think it's an Eastern Indian tradition called Tantra. Now, Tantra is a study of sexual energy. It's more than, you see, the thing is, the whole thing is more than just having a good whatever. There's more to it than this. People don't realise it's a very high consciousness thing to be respected and valued and used for higher purposes. But a lot of people are not into that, of course, but it does. And of course, I don't suppose you've noticed, but women often cry a lot after sex. It's because they've released a lot of their own emotions, but also they've taken on a lot of the man's. Men are not emotional. They're not good at expressing their emotions. So have sex with a woman and she goes about crying afterwards, they're considering weepy and silly, and you know what, that's what will happen. But women are taking on a man's emotions, and they're causing this, that is causing them to be upset and distressed. That's what they're doing. It's a service. It's a service that women are giving men. Take on their emotions and their difficulties, and then they have a little cry, and obviously their own emotions as well. But a man will dump on a woman when he's feeling emotionally upset, and then she'll leave her and she's upset, crying, and emotionally distraught. So Barry Long talks about this, and he's very interesting about this exchange, and how women do feel more attached to a man, and a man is free to go and do his stuff. They always have and they always will. That's the way it is, isn't it? Kings, especially kings, popes, whatever. Not this pope, but years ago, popes were married and had kids and so forth, and kings, well, they had so many lovers. The poor queen got fed up with it, but you have to put up with it. That's the way it is with men, So the sexual energy, I was saying about this Tantra, it is a study of the energy, how to raise the energy, how to contain the energy. It's a vast subject. It's fascinating, actually. So I don't know I don't know why I'm doing this. God, it's 8 minutes already. Anyway, I'm probably going to sleep now. So anyway, I don't know about these videos. The last one was, I think perhaps I'm in the wrong market. I don't know whether some of them are not in the right context for this particular channel. I don't know. But the last 2 or 3 haven't had any comments at all. I find that frustrating, because I'd like to have comments. And it seems to me they're not doing very well. Now, I also put them on a higher self portal, and they do extremely well there. So maybe this is not attracting the right people. So I'm giving this a go. It could be it is an interesting subject. It might help somebody to know what's really going on, because to be having all this energy to deal with. Best thing, if you can't have sex, well, there's lots of things you can do, as you know, but physically, go for a walk, wash the floor, get rid of it, earth it if you can. If you can't find somebody, or you don't want to do the other. So try to earth it. It's coming in, you see, stimulating all the chakras, and it's bringing out the Kundalini energy. So that's basically what's happening. Okay, lovies, bye for now. Take care.